Okay, Veronica, we were just talking about your life as a young lady. You just indicated a few minutes back that you fell in love at the age of 17. What were you looking for in this gentleman you fell in love with?
That is why I said maybe fall in love. I saw the young people has boyfriend and they have nice clothes and things. So I decided if I have a boyfriend, I will have the same thing. So
So it was more or less a case of peer pressure. All your friends were at that time having boyfriends, so you wanted one too. And I guess you wanted someone to take care of you, someone to love you, someone to show you that you're very special. And so you fell in love with that young man. What was life like with this young man you brought into your life at this tender age?
We did not last long. I think a month or two after I sent him to my father accepted him. So I guess if my father accepted him, everything is all right. But then a month or two after that, we had intercourse. 3 days after that, he told me I'm pregnant. So I left him. I couldn't understand why, so I left.
That's rather amazing. Let me get it straight. You fell in love with him. You slept with him.
Yes, I did.
And the first time you slept with him, you realized that you're pregnant. He told you that you're pregnant.
3 days after that.
3 days after that?
Yeah.
How did he know that?
I don't know. That is why I left him.
And what I find rather strange is the fact that you decide as a young woman to leave your boyfriend after discovering that you're pregnant with his child. What was going through your mind?
I could not understand that.
But you are puzzled. You don't know. At the time, you're wondering why. I'm sure he was the one who impregnated you, but you didn't know, but he knew. So you're puzzled about all of that. Why didn't you take time to discover whether it's true and try to hold on to your child's father? What was going through your mind as a young lady at that time? Why did you decide to just quit?
I don't know. I just could not understand. 3 days after that, I'm pregnant.
And
so
were you really
no.
pregnant?
Yes, I was. When the month goes, I see I'm pregnant. But at that time, I'd already sent him away.
I guess that must have happened because you were inexperienced, you were young at the time.
Yeah.
And I guess it was the shock of it all, knowing and understanding that you didn't cater for that. That's not what you wanted, I'm sure.
No.
You didn't want to be pregnant?
No.
But how did your dad feel about it since you accepted him as the young man, he wanted for you? How did he feel about that?
My father helped me because he had loved that man. I didn't love him, but he had loved him. Because I sent him away. I guess it's because I didn't love him. But my father had loved him, so because of that, my father took care of me with the child. He helps me.
Okay, so you went through the pregnancy.
With my father helping
And how
me.
did he feel about that as the child's father?
He did not.
How did he respond? How did he react to that?
He did not take care of the child. A month after that, he told me it's not for him.
But he was the one who told you that
I'm pregnant. And a month after that, he came and he told me it's not for him. So I was kind of, what is he doing?
You were baffled then?
I said, a good thing I left him.
Okay. But then you had the child.
Yes, I did.
And you said that your father helped you?
Yes, he did.
So he helped you raise the child in the house?
Mm.
Okay. The father was not, present at no time. He didn't help you financially. Emotionally, he wasn't there.
The only thing the father did was baptize the child. When I give birth to the child, he baptized the child as his child. So he knew it was his child.
Okay, so he came in to bend the hand to go for the dedication of that child and everything else. Okay, from there, how did you move on?
Well, 2 years after that, I got friendly to another person, somebody who was like a family to me. My father was married to his grandmother. Mm-hmm. So it was like a family
friend. Okay.
Friend. Mm-hmm. I got friendly to that person. And that was when I began to get abused.
So I was about to say this time around it was true love, right?
No. This time was the hard time. I was just the beginning of hard time for me.
Okay. You chose that guy and you thought he was the right one,
Yeah.
but you just indicated that you went for a rough time. How soon did you discover that this guy really wasn't the right one for you? How soon after you entered the relationship did you realize that this guy was just not the right one?
I did not realize it was not. I was in love with that one.
Oh.
I love him, and for me, the first time he slapped me, I didn't have children with him. But then it was like, "What are you doing?" And he said sorry, and that was it. I thought that was it. So
How soon after you got friendly to that guy, you entered the relationship, how soon after that did he begin to abuse you? And how did he do it? Did he slap you, hit you? What did he do?
I cannot recall exactly how soon it was.
Okay.
But then I had my second child, which is his daughter, is 2 years. The first one is 2 years older than the second one, which means it was between a year so. And we got friendly, and then before I had that child, I was slapped at least once or twice for no reason. Like, he talked to me and I respond and he would just slap me.
Okay, I'm a bit confused right now. I want to go back to the early stage. You said you cannot recollect how soon it was after you got friendly to this guy, he began to ill-treat you. But then during that process of time, how early in the relationship did you get pregnant? Was it about a few months after you got friendly to him? About a year, you said?
A year.
A year
About
after
a
you
year.
got friendly to him, okay, you got pregnant with his child.
Yeah.
And during that period of time, he began to physically abuse you. Okay, so he slapped you. Why did he do that?
For no reason.
No reason at all.
Sometimes we'd have a little quarrel.
Okay.
Or maybe at his home, he grew up with his father and his mother always quarreling. So if something happened at his mother's home, he'll come and pass it on me.
So he would transfer the anger from his mom, from the conflict you'd have at home with his mom, then he would come to you now and pass on the anger to you.
Yeah.
Transfer his anger from his mother to you, so from his mother to his girlfriend. And what made you think so? Is it something that you really knew?
Well, I live, his mother,
you just assumed
his
that
mother
was
was
what it-
living close to me, so I
Okay.
could see the...
Okay. Yes, Veronica. How did you feel when your boyfriend hit you the first time?
It was like normal. I felt like he did that. He did it, and I told him, "Why did you hit me?" And he said, afterward, he said, "I'm sorry." It was like, because at that time I love him. So I wasn't seeing that as nothing,
Okay, so love that covered all the evils.
I guess.
He hit you a second time. Why didn't you say to yourself, this is unhealthy? Did you still consider it to be normal? Normal behavior?
Not really, but then he keep on saying he's sorry.
Oh.
And for me, he was better than the first one because he gives me everything I need.
Oh. So the second time, he hit you again, and then he said that he was sorry. And you realize that most probably he was just hitting you because he loved you, because he was providing you with your needs. Is that what it was all about?
Or sometimes I caused the hitting. I was the...
He would tell you that you were the one to be blamed.
I was feeling
You
like
blame
maybe
yourself.
I was the one to be blamed.
Oh, you were saying to yourself at that point in time that you are to be blamed because since he's hitting you so often, there must be something wrong that you're doing to him to cause all that battering.
Yeah.
Okay, and did he keep on beating you?
Yes, he did. He did. Then I had my child with me. So I left my father's home, and I went. We buy a house, and we went to the house, but not far to my father's house. So every time he would hit me, I would leave the home, and I'll go to my father's house, spend about 2 days, and he'll come back and he'll beg and he'll say, I'm sorry, and I'll go back to him.
So it was a pity party.
Yeah.
You'd always feel sorry. He would hit you again, knock you, hit you, and bruise you.
Yeah.
Then he would come back and say that he's sorry, and then you would embrace him again.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, because you loved him. Okay, do you think that was true love?
No.
That's what you know now.
I grew to understand that was not love.
Okay. But did you talk to your dad about it and your other siblings? Did you tell them what you were going through?
I told my father about it. I remember my father told me one day, a man who hates his family, curse his mother, don't love you.
So he used to curse his mother?
Yeah.
And you knew about that?
Yeah, because we live close by.
Oh, so you knew everything about him. So it was a total package. You took him for better or for worse.
I guess so.
And when you experienced the worst, you still felt comfortable.
Not
Was that the case?
comfortable. I reached to a point where he keep telling me now, because I always leave and go. And then he keep telling me, if you ever leave me, I will kill you, the children, and myself. So it was like I could not go because I needed my children to be alive. So I was staying with him. In spite of all the heat, all the abuse, I would stay.
Can we balance things here?
Yeah.
You said that you were in love with this young man and he was beating you all the time. Was there a stage or a point in time when you said to yourself, that's not love.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable here. I need to do something to help myself get out of this thing. Now you're saying, okay, you realize that you were caught in a trap.
Yeah.
But yet there was something saying to you that he's taking good care of you. How did you reconcile these two? Where you were saying to yourself, this is a guy who takes care of me, but he's beating me, but I don't like the licks, but I'm going to stay with him because he takes care of me. How did you reconcile these two? How did you level off?
At the beginning, I was like, he's doing that to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's taking care of me. But then I realized that what he was doing, I come to a point where I could not take it anymore. I noticed it was too much for me. I'd have take licks, like there was a day he hit me. I fall through a pipe, a standing pipe, those squeezing pipe. I fall through the pipe. He picked me up, put me on my father's bed, pour alcohol on me, and he left. He kept me there. He left me in the room. And then when he came back, he came and looked for me, making sure that I was not dead. So I realized that he was going too far.
Okay.
So I wanted to leave at this time.
Yeah. So there was a point in time when the alert went on, danger sign. This thing is going too far. You understand? Get out of there, whether I love this guy or not, I better run for my life. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what it was all about.
Yeah.
But were there other scenarios or the times when he really showed you that he was a batterer, he was getting really violent, and it was really, really unsafe for you to stay in that relationship?
Yes.
Were there other points in time when you felt threatened by this guy?
Yes, I did. I recalled a day I had my son. He was a year or even maybe 9 months when his father took him. They had a little misunderstanding in the house, so he took him and he went in the forest with him, but without nothing. So I stayed. I said I was not going because I knew what he had in mind. So I said I'm not going. But then when I remember my son living without nothing, I left
Excuse me, where did he take the child to?
to the forest.
To the forest. So he was a farmer.
Yeah.
Okay, so he took the child without any
Drinks,
bottle,
any bottle,
nothing at all.
anything.
Okay, and he just left with the
He
child.
left with the child.
What time was it? What time of
In
day
the
was it?
morning.
In the morning.
Because he thought I would have come, but I said I wasn't going. But then when I remember my son leaving without nothing, I left. About 10, 15 minutes after he left, I went. When I reached by the river, I find him standing by the river. As soon as
Excuse me, was it within walking distance?
Yeah, it was
to the garden.
Yeah, it was
okay.
a long
About
walking.
how many minutes walk from your home to the garden? About how many minutes?
About 20, 15. It was a long minute walk. But
Okay.
when I reach in the river, I find him standing with the child. As soon as I reach, he did not ask me any question. He put down the child and he gave me one slap. I saw stars in my eyes. One slap. And then he picked up the child and he continued going, but I stand by the river crying. When he turned back and he did not see me, he put back the child down and he ran towards me with a cutlass and he said, I don't see nothing to do but just chop your head.
Did he tell you why?
He didn't
was
tell me
behaving
why.
so violently
He did not
towards
tell
you?
me why. So
Did you try to think of why he was treating you that way? I mean, you just woke up in the morning. About what time of day was it?
We had a little misunderstanding in the
before that?
house.
Before that?
Before that.
Or the night before?
The very same morning.
The same morning.
That's why
okay,
he took
all
the
right.
child.
Okay. So was he taking the child to the garden just to punish you?
To make sure that I go and
Or
then
to
he
make
will
sure
do
that you
what
come
he
to the
has
garden as
do.
well? Did he have a problem with you helping him in the garden?
No.
Okay, he never had that problem. No. He never expressed it. But after the conflict, he just wanted to punish you. So he decided to use the child. Okay,
Yeah.
That was it. Okay, continue.
There was a good thing. One of my brother's son was under the banana, and he shouted after him, and he said, "What the hell you doing?" Then he realized what I said. He realized what he did. So he take out the cutlass in my throat. He pick up the child, and he keep coughing me to go right through the forest. I took cough from the river to the forest. When I reached in the forest, he put down the child, and he took a yam that has prickle in it. He cleaned where the prickle
the wild
was.
Yam? Yeah.
The yellow yam.
Mm-hmm.
He take out where the prickle was that it wouldn't prick him, and he hit me with the thing. And then he said, "You're not going down, you staying until we finish." So I had to stay, I cried, and I stayed there.
And where was the child?
The child was there.
Where?
On the floor. He put the child on the
So he placed the child on the ground?
On the ground, yeah.
He just
placed the child on the ground.
The child could walk at that time?
No, it was a baby.
Just a baby?
Yeah.
Did he take leaves or whatever? How did
Nothing.
he push on
He
the
just
child?
put the child down
on
and
the
he
ground?
take the thing and he hit me with it. And then I had to take the child and let him work at that time, because after he did that, I am not going down. If I go down, he's going to kill me. That is what I know he would do. So, because he always tell me, "I will kill you." So I stayed with him. I took the child. I had to breastfeed the child and stay with the child.
So you stayed in the garden?
In the garden.
You breastfed the child?
Yeah.
And you just sat there?
And we stayed there. A little while, he was normal. He was not the same person. It was like that never happened. So he was around.
Did he say he was sorry?
No, he don't say.
He didn't say
He
anything?
didn't say anything about that. Sorry.
So when he was through with his gardening,
We
and
went
whatever,
back
you all
home.
went back home.
Then another day, we had a little problem. And somebody reached. At the same moment he was about to slap me, somebody reached in the house. So he did not. Because if you come in the house, if he's slapping me or he just finished slapping, if you come in the house, you will never know. He reacts so
normal.
So you will not know. And then what he did is, after we went to sleep, I went to sleep, you'd wake me up in the middle of the night. What we started this morning, let's finish it. And then he will start.
Let us finish what?
The fighting.
Was it love?
The fighting.
I thought it was love making.
No, the fighting. Especially if he has not slapped me. He did not slap me the morning. So when night comes, there is nobody.
So you dream about fighting you? Or beating you?
I'm not sure if he was sleeping. Mostly when he does that, I go in my room and sleep. But he stays on the settee outside. in the sitting room.
Okay.
So a time while I'm sleeping, I would feel the shaking, and he'll tell me, what we started in the morning, let's finish it in the night.
So he took real pleasure in fighting with you.
And then it would have been a whole night crying. And then the last time I realized.
At that point in time, what were you saying to yourself, and how were you feeling as a young woman in a relationship with a batterer, someone who has that kind of temper and whom you perceive would at one point in time kill you, as you just indicated a while ago? At one time you said you felt trapped in the relationship, but then you had the kids there. As a mother, how did you feel about what was happening? Did you ever feel that it was time to run with your kids, run for your life, so that you could save your kids? Did you ever say to yourself at one time, I'm going to run, and if I don't run, I'm going to retaliate, I'm going to do something to help myself? What happened?
I reached to a point where I started to pray. And I keep saying to the Lord, Lord, get me out of this relationship. By death, I didn't mind God take my life, or fire. I remember praying that every day. Get me out of it, from fire, death, whatever, but I need to be out of this relationship.
But Veronique, you had sisters, you had brothers, on the other side, your father's side. What was their input? How did they try to help you? Did they hear your voice in the dark? When you cried in the dark, did they hear you? Or did you ever cry loud enough so that they could hear you? What did you do? How did you try to seek for help and attention in that case?
I went to my brother, was older than me.
Okay.
I said, Fue, I cannot take it again. So he told me, Veronique, I'll go and rent you a house.
Okay.
My brother went and he rented me a house. He went back to the lady and he told the lady we get back together. And he took the money from the lady and he gave the lady.
Oh, the owner of the house?
The owner of the house. So I went back to another brother, crying in tears and say, Fue, I cannot take it again. Instead of my brother helping me, he went back to him and he said, because he content, il a pris la clé. So, and then he tell him, make sure Pamela Mouale, Veronica ko. Ou I pon la clé, make sure Pamela Mouale ko. But then a few months after that, he stayed, we were in the forest, and he stayed there and he tell me, now you have your brother standing behind you. I said, of course. Who tell the man that? He gave me one slap.
So you felt really strong then, that there was someone coming in to help? At least someone heard your voice in the dark and they were ready to stand with you. So at that point in time, did you feel stronger?
I thought he would never slap me again because my brother tell him not to put his hand on me.
Okay.
So I said, of course.
So he got upset about that?
Tell the man that? The man gave me one slap. By the time the people came from, they were carrying banana. They went and bring a trip. When they came back, I was boxing, he was cutting. He gave me a slap. When the people came back, he's cool. So I thought I was strong too. I said, Ula dus. Who tell the man that in front of everybody, he just started hitting me. Because I told him.
Right in the presence of
the people.
Your friends and everybody else. How did you feel about that?
I felt
humiliated.
So I was like, I need to get out. I went to my father and I was telling my father that and I cried. And my father told me, every time I go, I coming back, like my father was fed up already with me going to him and coming back.
Back and forth?
And forth. And then a month before my father died, I went to the forest with him. When I reached in the forest, we were carrying banana, but it was around 5 o'clock so. When he told me, you have to go Bellevue and look for a vehicle. I said, 5 o'clock? Why don't you go and look for the vehicle? Tell the man that? He gave me one punch. I fell. When I get up, he gave me another punch again. I fell. When I get up, he gave me another punch again. I felt the very same place. When I get up and I saw him coming on me on the fourth time, I start screaming. He said, oh God, what am I doing? And then I said to myself, you're going to kill me. And that was it. I left.
So that was the point in time when you concluded now that this guy is not joking, he's going to kill me. For real, he's going to kill me.
And I went to my... When...
Yes. What was the worst thing that he did to you?
Well, that was the worst. For me, that was the worst. That was like, this time he's going to kill me. And he will not even notice that he killed me.
Okay.
So I went to my father and I said, and my father said, this man will kill you, and on the road they would find you. I was kind of...
That's what your dad said to you?
My father said to me, why did he say that? But then he have seen all what I am going through. But I always tell my father, he told me if I leave him, he's going to kill me and the children. So I'm there.
Do you believe he would have killed the kids?
Yes, he would.
Okay.
He would.
So at one point in time, did he really chop you?
He did that. After I left him, a month after I left him, he came to the very place where I was staying. I left him, I went to the same house. My brother went back and rent for me again. And 1 month after that, exactly a month, 25th to the 25th, he came to the place. He came the Sunday before he did that. He told me he's going to chop me. I remember he told me, I'm going to chop you into pieces. I called my children, go and call my brother, my sister for me. So he left. Then I follow him because I was going up to my sister's home. I follow him. When I reach there, he tell me, I'm going to kill you. I said, you bother. When I tell him that, he said, stop there and watch. He went for a cutlass. And I remember brother told me, don't stand there, move. When he came back with the cutlass, he said, you run? I would have chopped you into pieces and nobody wouldn't find you. So I went to the station and everything goes. They said, so I did. But then the Sunday after, that was a Sunday, he asked me, he said I had his money, that is why he's going to chop me. I gave him his money the Monday. Before he did that, I gave him the money. He took the money. And the Sunday, I gave him the money the Monday, the Sunday evening around 8 o'clock so. I went up the road and I saw him up the road. Before I went up the road, I went down by his mother's home. When I was passing, I saw him. He told me he's going to kill himself. I said, yourself? He said, yes. I said, but I leave everything for you, the house, everything. Why are you killing yourself? He said, if I'm not coming back, he's going to kill himself. I said, why? He said he had poison ready to kill himself. To tell you the truth, I went and looked at the poison. I saw it in a bottle. And I went on my business. But then the night, when night come, I was by the road and I saw him come. He just hold my hand and he said, I need to see you. It's kind of, what is going on? So, but the moment he dropped me, he left. So I myself went back to the house where I was staying. And he came there and he said, on my way back, I saw him coming. I tell you, there was a lady with me when he did that to me. I told him, he told me, go and get the children. That was the first word he said. Go and get me the children. I said, no. He said, I tell you, go and get me my children. I said, no. And then he breaking my arm. So I said, tomorrow I'll go in the station for you. He tell me, you're a fool, you won't reach there. Then he hold on to my hair, take the knife in his shoe, and he just chopped my neck with it. A banana knife.
So this is the mark.
Yeah, the heat from there.
I can see the scars from here. All the way from
here
here to here?
to right here.
All the way?
Right here.
Okay. So when he slashed your neck the first time, what did you do?
I hold on to the knife.
You held on to the knife?
Yeah.
How
And
could you?
he pulled it out and then he chopped me on my face again.
Did you get hurt? Did it?
Yes, he did. I had to go for free surgery
that's why your hands are like this?
to fix my hands
So
back.
the scar,
That's
which is
a operation.
extends all the way from here to here. So the knife actually slashed your
Yeah,
hand.
I hold on to it. That one, it was stuck in it. The knife was stuck in that.
So both hands, so you grabbed the knife with both hands
Yeah.
and you pulled it.
Yeah, you keep on pulling
Okay,
it and
so the
chopping me
force-
all around. all around the foot.
Did you feel pain at that time?
At the beginning, yes,
You
I
felt
did.
the pain?
Yeah, I felt
Did
the
you
pain.
try to run?
Yes, I did. I tried to run. I could not run. Then a time I tried, I did like I was dead, and he
You
said
pretended that
I
you were
was
dead so he could leave you
And
alone.
he said, no, you are not dead. So I had to keep on, and I wasn't dead. I was still feeling the pain. So I hold back to the knife, and I keep holding the knife until the knife, I felt on my face, and the knife stuck in my hand. I saw him looking for the knife. I could see him looking for the knife, but I wasn't feeling pain at that time. When he finally found the knife, he pulled it out, he chopped me twice in my back, and he said, you are dead, and no one won't find you, and he left.
Were you saying to yourself, okay, I'm dying?
Yes, I am.
What was going on for your mind?
When he chopped me the first time...
Did you fall to the ground? And if you were on the ground, what was going through your mind?
When I fell to the ground, I saw him looking for the knife. But at that time, when I was catching the knife, I wasn't crying, I was praying. While I was catching the knife, I wasn't screaming. I was only praying and catching the knife. I was holding onto the knife while he pulling it out. But then when I fall to the ground, with the knife stuck in my hand, I saw him looking for the knife. When he finally found it, he pulled it out and chopped me. And then he left. When he left, I passed out. When I passed out, I realized I was going up a 3-story building, flying through it. So I went up the first one. I went up the second one, but I did not go the third one. While I was going to the third one, I realized I was on the floor in a pool of blood. Mm-hmm. So I pulled on some banana leaves and I put it under my head. And I tried to get up. I could not get up. I tried so hard.
So you were unconscious for a while.
Yeah.
But when you regained the consciousness, you realized that you were lying in a pool of blood, and you tried to help yourself.
Yeah.
There was no one around at that time.
No one. And I could not do it.
How far were you from the community? Were you in the garden? Where did that happen? Where exactly?
That was...
Were you far away from...
I find myself under the banana.
You know,
okay,
like in the garden?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was no one at that time who would be able to help?
The girl I was there with me, she ran.
Oh, there was somebody with you?
When he was doing that, the girl ran.
Oh, so when she saw him, she ran?
Yeah. No, when the fella chopped me the first time, then he chopped me the second time, the girl stand up. So I said to the girl, run, he's killing me. So the girl ran, and the girl left me there alone.
I realize you also have some scars by your hair. Right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So he slashed you with the knife on your face as well?
I have a cut from there, right there.
Your breast?
My breast, and I had a tube in that one. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you get from that point to another? How did you help yourself?
While I was on the floor, I said to the Lord, I said, Lord, if only you, because I tried to get up, I could not get up. So I said, Lord, if only you'd give me a little strength to get up where I am and find myself in the road, I would have served you with all my heart. The moment I said that, I just get up. So I knew it was a miracle because I tried.
That's wonderful. God works in mysterious ways.
Yes, he does.
And I believe there is a God. God is real. And as you said,
yes,
I believe God helped you. If he had not helped you at that point in time, you would not be in studio with us this evening. Can you tell us what happened next after he chopped you? What happened that night?
Well, as I said, I asked God to help me and I was helped. I finally find myself in the road after knocking my head on trees and being carried out of the bush. I finally find myself in the road, the highway. While I was going up, I saw somebody coming. At this time, I didn't have no clothes on but my skirt, and I was feeling my breast hurting me. So I hold on to my breast with the skirt. And then I saw somebody coming. So I was going towards the person, but I realized as I go towards the person was going to the bush. But when I reached close to the person, he bent down and he picked up 2 stones to stone me again. But then when he get up, I saw who he was, so I called him by his name.
So that wasn't your boyfriend?
No, he was.
It was somebody else?
Somebody else.
So why did he take the stones to hit you?
I guess he was afraid.
He was afraid of you then because
I was
Oh, boy.
you know. And when he get up, I realized who he was, so I called him by name, and he said, "What happened?" And I said, "I was chopped, and can you please go and get me some help?" So he left me, and he ran up to get help, but he left
So
me.
he thought you were saying something from a horror movie. So he must have said to himself,
Who is
I'm
that
going to kill
person?
that
Yeah,
thing I'm
yeah,
seeing there,
yeah.
because I'm sure he couldn't see your head. I mean, you were chopped all the way
Yeah.
from your ear to your lip, your eye, your breast chopped, your neck, your arm. You must have,
And I did
Yeah,
not, I
you
did
must
not, I
have-
was naked. I was
Terrible.
holding on to the little pieces of skirt I
Yes.
had, holding on to my breast.
And even your skirt,
it was
I
like I
assume, was
was
soaked.
naked.
Yeah.
So I guess he was afraid.
Mm-hmm.
So when I finally saw him, I told him, "Can you please go and call my sister for me?" I left him by the road. And he left me there. He did not help me. He left me there and he ran to call my sister. I continue going up the road. When I reach, as though a spirit is telling me to lie down on the side of the road, but one is telling me I can make it. So I continue walking. When I reached to a house where there was a television playing, I called.
Okay.
I called and I called and I called until the lady heard me. And she came to me. She told me what happened. I told her what happened and I said I need help. So the husband came and the lady came. She took some bath towel, she wrapped me up. At this time, I did not know I had all that cut. And while I was about to go to the van, the man told me, "I can't put you at the front, you have to make it at the back. I cannot climb up the back." I was already getting a little weak. But then my sister came. The fellow who went and called my sister. They had already come, they did not find me, so they were on their way to the police station when the boy came and called them. So they helped me up and I was taken to the hospital. I knew I was taken to the hospital because while I was going, I was telling my sister my neck. And she telling me, "I can't hold you anywhere. Everywhere I hold is sore." So I was but I was feeling my neck, like my neck was breaking. But when I reached to the hospital, my sister, I remember reaching to the hospital. They took out the bath towel and my sister screamed. When she screamed, that was it for me. And when I recovered, the doctor told me, "I have never seen anybody spend 3 hours unconscious and was alive." I said, "But God was with me."
Praise the Lord. That's good.
So I spent a month in the hospital. The very day before they found my children's father, that was 11 days after.
Did he come to visit
chopped
you?
me. No. 11 days after he chopped me. Mm-hmm. I finally went out of the hospital room. I said, "Let me take a walk." But when I reached on the step, a fear came to me because they have not found him. So I went back and I sit on the bench by the emergency
Okay,
room.
so after he chopped you, he went missing.
Yeah, he went missing.
Okay.
So nobody is finding him. Okay. And then I was afraid. My brother had to get some police to put in the door because people just come in and they say they are my brother. And when they reach in front of me, I don't know the person from nowhere. And then they have not found.
Okay.
So they have not find him. So it was like.
Mm-hmm. You were scared.
Scared for me. So when I finally sit on the bench, the nurse came and she told me, "I need you to get back inside." I said, "But I just went out." She said, "You need to go back inside." So I went in with her, and when I reached, she told me they found him, and he was dead.
You were shot? What happened?
When the nurse told me that, I felt a little like, I'm human.
Yeah.
I felt.
So he drank the poison?
He drank the poison. But then a nurse came to me and she said, "No, Veronique, get out of here. Let's go out." She took me out and then I kind of find back myself in order.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he drank the poison and what happened? What was the end?
He died. He died. They found him 11 days after that. They found him dead in a ravine. He was already.
And the body was already decayed. How did you feel when you heard that?
Like I tell you, when they told me that, I felt.
Okay, you felt, there was a measure of closure. You were safe now?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
But then I had dreams. That was not the end. That was not the end.
You were haunted by that.
I was dreaming like he would come to me in the night while I sleeping. I dreaming. He would tell me, "I'm not dead yet. You are dead, but you are not dead, but I am dead. I can still kill you." And I would get up crying and screaming, these things until I realized that was a spirit of fear. I started praying about it, and God has delivered me from it.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. God bless you.
Yes.
So you finally got your deliverance. And since you have a measure of closure, you feel within yourself that you have been delivered. Yes. What message do you have for the countless women out there who are presently being battered by their spouses or have been in the past? What message do you have for them? What word of encouragement would you like to share with them?
I would like to say to the young people, especially the young people, I would like to say to them, please do not stay in that mess. Get help. Don't do like me, holding it, keeping it to myself, saying like, because of shame, I won't say it to anybody. But go to somebody, find somebody. And if the very first time the man tell you he'll kill you, it means that he will kill you. Get out of this mess.
Thank you. We are now getting ready to engage in our question and answer forum. Those of you who have questions to ask, please feel free to do so. We have a group of experts here with us this afternoon. We have Dr. Franklin Bray, who is a clinical psychologist, and his wife, who also works in the related field. We also have Miss Sylvia Edwards, who is also the manager and she's a counselor and manager of the Women's Support Center in St. Lucia. They are well able, they are bold, they are able, they are capable, and they will be answering your questions, so please feel free to do so.
Beating and slapping the only forms of abuse that an individual experiences in an abusive relationship? If not, what other forms exist? And are they frequently reported?
Just to let you know that physical abuse is just one form of abuse that goes on in a domestic violence relationship. There are other forms of abuse which includes economic abuse, social abuse, sexual abuse, and particularly emotional abuse too. When it comes to social abuse and economic abuse, it is quite prevalent, but a lot of people are not aware that it is a form of abuse. And it takes the form of, like, for instance, social abuse takes the form of isolation, where you are not able to go out, you are restricted, you cannot spend time with family and friends. Economic abuse is being denied the opportunity to develop yourself professionally and being denied finances to take care of yourself and your children.
Dr. Bray would like to expand on that.
I wanted to add to the response given by the other professional that you may find the psychological abuse is a lot more damaging than just to know that the perpetrator has full control over the situation. So there would be also many mind games played. The psychological impact is really going to create a devastation. Really try to shackle the person, really have the person in chains. And that in itself can be very devastating, even more than knowing that the person is actually physically eaten. The physical abuse is dangerous. It should never happen. But having the psychological trauma is even more detrimental.
Okay, what I'm hearing, Dr. Bray, is that psychological abuse can cripple you, actually cripple you, to the extent that you cannot move on. And that means that your self-esteem suffers in the process.
That is correct.
So am I correct when I say that psychological abuse is really damaging, especially when the perpetrator calls you names and tries to put you down and does all that kind of thing to you? To the extent that you don't feel significant anymore.
Yes, it's that bad. Particularly, the name calling is part of the control mechanism that the abuser would use. Name calling, yelling, insulting. As a person or as individuals, we feel better when we are appreciated, when we are made to look good, and we are told good things about ourselves. Mm-hmm. And the more you are told negative things about yourself, the less you would feel. Okay. And the more you would go into isolation, which would take in the social aspect of the abuse.
Thank you, my special team of experts, for your kind contribution. I believe we have all learned something significant today in one way or another. And those of you who are hearing my voice, remember what was just conveyed to you. I think we have learned a lot in studio this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for yourselves. To round up, I think there are some significant points I think you need to remember. Ladies out there, I want you to remember family reflections. Our main objective is meeting the needs of our families. This afternoon, we have a very special guest, Veronique James, who has been bold enough and open and honest with us. She has shared her story with us. She has gone through the pages. Her voice has been heard. Voices in the Dark is the topic for our show this afternoon, but she has brought the truth to light in a significant way. Please remember that you do not have to suffer in the dark. Remember Veronique James. She was bold enough to come out with a story. You too can do the same. Ladies and gentlemen, for Veronique James as we leave studio. Thank you. I think there are some significant points I think you need to remember, ladies out there. Number one, when someone calls you names, insults you, or puts you down, remember, you are dealing with a batterer. When someone prevents you from going to work or school for their own special reasons, remember, you are facing a batterer. When someone tries, in fact, you are in a relationship and your spouse tries to control how you spend your money, where you go, and how you dress, you are in for trouble. Someone you are in a relationship with is jealous of you, is always possessive or constantly accusing you of being unfaithful, you are in for trouble as well. When your spouse threatens you with violence or a weapon, like Veronique just told us a while ago, the banana knife was a really bad weapon to use on someone's flesh. You are in for a bad case. When someone hits you, kicks you, slaps you, chokes you, or hurts you, you and your children as well, this is a troublesome affair. When your spouse forces you to have sex against your will, as the experts just conveyed to us, you are in for some trouble. Or if your spouse blames you for his or her violent behavior, you have to run for your life. You can get help from the crisis center. As Ms. Edward just told us, you can call 451-1521 or 712-7574. Please be reminded that this is a serious trouble and you should not take it for granted that all will be well tomorrow if someone tries to batter you. It is not a joke. It is not funny. This is serious business. You are playing with your life. Stand for yourself. Stand on your ground and get help as quickly as possible. Do not allow what happened to Giselle Fanners to happen to you. We need to stand on our feet as women and we need to save our lives before it is too late. Thank you for coming. God bless you.